Becky, Zach, Darren, and Carissa.
Good morning, everyone. I'm assuming Zach must be at the airport.
He said he just landed but has spotty service.
Oh, he just landed.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna be watching his, we're gonna be streaming you watching his son too this weekend.
Yes,
So,
yes.
That robotics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just that in all. No, here.
So, good morning, everybody. Obviously, there's some changes with all the phone calls that we made yesterday. And, so I don't have a speech prepared. We're just gonna basically talk a little bit. We want to thank everybody for showing up today. We want to thank everybody for being with us for many years. So.
Help me. So, this is so exciting for us, but we're a little bit emotional too, because this has been our baby for the last 10 years, and you guys have made it such a great success. And we're really excited to move forward. And we didn't do this with quick little, gosh, let's just kind of end what we're doing, but we're not ending what we're doing, we're continuing it. But we're doing it with new tools and great support, and we're really excited about it. So, you know, when we started our office, you know, there was 4 of us, and we just wanted to have a great office that we could take all the different parts of different offices that we've been part of and implement it. And we wanted to be able to teach agents what we have had successes with and hope that they want to do the same, but also to just run their own businesses as well. And so it's been tons of fun to be able to do this. But you all deserve someone who has lots of energy and excitement and tools to be able to help you guys grow your business even more. And so we just get the agents now, just like you guys get to, and we're pretty excited about that because we feel like we're good at that role. And we should always do what we're passionate about. And so, you know, I just want to say thank you for all of you. So when we started our business, my motto isn't always the same as everyone else's. I never want to be number 1. I want to be number 1, 2, or 3. For the reason being that if you're number 1, sometimes your head gets bigger. Sometimes you just forget what your goals are. I know that most people want, you know, they want everyone, and I just want to be in the top 3% is really what I want to. That's kind of how my goals are for my life, and I'm only talking about myself. But we've been number 1 for a long time, and it's because of you. And so I just want to kind of end where we're ending, like right now, and you guys should all be really, really proud. So.
We're number 1.
For number 1. So I'm going to first tell you, if we're looking at our solds for year end or beginning of the year till right now, if we look at our sides, we have closed 83 sides for our office this year so far. Remax is in 2nd place for production, but Grimes is in 3rd place for sides. They have only closed 70. So if we're looking at that difference, that's an amazing difference. But when we take and we look at what our pendings and our solds would be, we have 120 sides that are pending and solds, and Grimes is number 2, and they're at 80. You guys are amazing, and it's you guys that have made this office really great if we're looking at numbers like that. And you know, our reputation in the town is wonderful. We're going to have the same building, and it's all of us. And even though Counselor Realty was our name, it's all of you and all your branding that you've done. And so it's you and who you are. You just have another toolbox of tools that you're going to have. So thank you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thank God.
So now we want to welcome Brandon. Come on up.
Here I am.
Thank you.
Still recording.
Thank you.
Good morning, you guys. Today marks a new journey and a growth chapter for you. I appreciate nobody wearing red, so that was whether by design or not, it's still a good win. So my name is Brandon Johnson. I am now your new broker, and I get the privilege of hanging out with you guys and helping you learn a lot more about you, but ultimately help you kind of grow your business. Our philosophy when we started this journey, so about 3 years ago, just so you know, I bought my first real estate office in Alexandria, where I live and reside. And it started off as a funny story because I wanted more, and my broker owners at the time that I was working for, Coldwell Crown Realtors in Alec, we're celebrating 40 years with the brand this year, so we've been around a long time. And I said, you know, guys, I really want to do more. I feel like we could become a better brokerage. We can serve our clients better. We could do more for our agents. And they said, well, that sounds great. What do you want to do? And that's how I got into a minority ownership role with them. And then ultimately it led to the point where I said, it's not a fit. Okay. Either these partners have to go because they just had a different vision, and that was okay, or I have to go. And ultimately we got to the point where they said, we're going to go. And then I went, oh no, well, I guess I'm buying a real estate company. That was May of 2020 that we closed. At that point in time, we were about $1 million in GCI, and so we were fine. You know, we were decent. And since that time now, coming on 3 years, we just celebrated. And my wife, who unfortunately isn't able to be here, when you meet her, you will very quickly realize that I did marry up, and she's way better than me. Doug and Melissa and Nick can attest to that, or if they can't, they weren't at the same table that we were. We've had a really good opportunity. We are now servicing Morris, Minnesota. We did an acquisition in Crosby, Minnesota. We did another acquisition in Sauk Center. And now you guys will be coming into our family as well. And we are super excited. And in about 30 days, I will have another one to share with you that we're also very excited about. So we are in a growth mode. Real estate is a hyper-local thing. And as we know and love the greater Minnesota area, we understand Lake Country. We understand the hurdles of why we can't clear trees to look at this beautiful lake and the dumb things that the DNR says. We understand that. And what we're going to do today is we're going to just talk a little bit about the transition, what that looks like for you, and ultimately share a little bit about the brand as well and some of the tools that we're going to bring with you to help equip you in your business. And then we're going to go about our day. There will be a lot of information that's going to come down the road. There will be a lot of changes. Signage, business card, licenses, all that stuff will come into play. Were you swatting? Okay. I was like, did I miss something? But so there will be a lot of questions, right? One of the things I want to do, and at the very end of this, I actually have a little sign-up sheet. I would love to meet every single one of you in a one-on-one. So I have 30-minute slots set up between today and all day tomorrow. So whatever you can fit into your schedule, I'll pretty much be hanging out at the office, unless I'm running to get an iced coffee, which is kind of my jam. So if I'm not there, that's probably what I'm doing. But I want to meet you and talk to you, answer questions, and help kind of guide you through any questions you maybe have that we're not going to address today. So hopefully you are all excited, right? This is growth. This is good. I believe this is good things for you and your business. I believe this is a great asset value to the community in and of itself. So I get to talk to you about the affiliation side today. Our good friend Donna, who's with us, is from our brand. She will be sharing a little bit about some of the tools that are available to you at a high level. Again, there's a lot that we have to offer you to bring value. It's going to maybe feel like a fire hose. That's not the objective. We want to just give you a little snapshot of some of the stuff that's coming down the way. Sound like a plan? Anybody got a question they want to talk through right now? Awesome. If you do, you can interrupt me. This is pretty informal, or at least I want it to be. Deal? This is a little launch book that we put together for you guys to join us. Inside of here, the first page you're going to see is just a really simple little welcome letter. You can read that on your own time. What I want to draw your attention to is page 3. And I want to just start walking through some of the questions that maybe you have for us anyway. So as I'm sure you can tell what's happening today, well, we are making a growth change, and your previous leadership team has decided that we are a good fit for you. Culture is always one of the biggest things, and I can tell you, the Hoovers and Montgomerys, they vetted me and how we run our company very thoroughly. very thoroughly to make sure that it was a culture fit, because at the end of the day, we are a hyper local thing. Some people fear that this becomes a corporate structure and there's weird things. At the end of the day, we're still a relatively small company, right? We are still here to focus on you and the community. You have all of my contact information. You are welcome to call me and text me at any time. I guarantee you throughout the day, I will be talking to several of our agents because that's what they do. And I love that. So just know that this is not a large corporate thing. The objective is to maintain the family and the team vibe that we still have. So who is Coldwell Crown Realtors? Well, we've been, like I said, we've been celebrating 40 years with the brand. We've been affiliated with Coldwell Banker since 1983. We are now 5 office locations and about 52 realtors across greater Minnesota, originally founded back in 1967. So we have a long history and legacy of working with consumers and doing really, really great things. Who is Coldwell Banker in and of itself? So you guys are pretty familiar with the franchise model, right? So you came from one as a Counselor Realty. Well, that is similar to Coldwell Banker. Our Crown Realtors DBA, we are independently owned and operated. So that's where we get to make the decisions and we get to have conversations about what do we support, what do we not, what can we do, what can we not. We don't have to follow the corporate guidelines in that event. So you will see many of our friends will have Coldwell Banker and then they'll have their different DBA, right? Further down the road, you have Platinum Dentist, you have Preferred Partners out of Permian, Pelican Rapids. If you see the Coldwell Banker Realty, that is the corporate owned side, right? So that is the corporate owned entity, which does own and operate mostly in major areas that don't really affect us. But if you ever see a CBR for Coldwell Banker Realty, there are 4 of them that operate out of the Brainerd Lakes area, and that's about as far north as they come right now. Just, it's a lot of information. I know we'll get. So you can see why did the Hoovers and Montgomerys decide to affiliate? Well, really, the thing I really appreciate about those 4 is their direct drive to make sure that it brought value to each and every one of you. I don't believe they did it for their own gain. I believe they truly made the decision to affiliate for the benefit of all of you. They saw the value in the tools, they saw the value in the vision of what we're bringing and driving towards, and they felt it was a good value add for all of you. And I had a lot of respect for you guys for that. So that's one of the big reasons. What's going to happen to your office? It's going to get blued instead of red, and that's it. We don't plan to change office locations. We don't plan to kick anybody out. And that's the way that it's going to be. So your address will stay the same, your phone number will stay the same, and everything will be pretty much in line. Who's going to lead? Well, that's me. I am now your new broker of record. Well, technically Doug still is, but that'll change by the end of the day. Okay. So you'll start to get some notifications, and you may already have some emails in your inbox already if you're wondering. And so I will serve currently as your broker in that capacity. We're excited to say Steph will continue to stay on in her role with the office, so there will be no change there as well. And that's going to be a big value add in just the synergy, right? And how we tend to stay together as a team and understanding. So there will be no direct staffing changes either. It's also important, and I appreciate the Hoovers and Montgomerys noting that they are staying on. They are not moving on. They are not looking to retire or sunset. As the news spreads, I will ask your help in making sure that that story is continuing to be told. That no, they're not retiring. No, they're not moving. No, they didn't go to prison, which seems to be a theme around here. Yeah, I feel like every story that I've told lately about, well, this person in the community, yeah, they ended up in prison. I'm like,
No. Well, most misspoke on one of them. They should have gone to prison, but.
they should have. Anyway.
Being recorded, we're getting into jail. Maybe that's how it's all.
Or maybe that's the effect of the cost.
No.
Anyway, so next we talk about commission and pending. So your pending transactions will continue to get paid out as they currently are. So I know today, I think Steph was prepping pending lists. Is that right? Okay, so we will have all of you verify that nothing was missed. Okay, so as of yesterday, everything will be transitioned to us, including your pending transactions, but we will pay them out on the same scale that you normally would. Okay, so there is no change on those. Commission checks. We are considering this an upgrade for you. We do not do paper checks. Okay. So, our central services team, we have 2 people on our accounting team. Darcy, who you will meet, she'll actually be our operations manager. She will come up, next Tuesday, I believe is the day, if you want to meet her. She's a sweet Southern belle from Tennessee. Be really nice to her, or you and I are gonna have problems. That's kind of, but she's very important to me. She will be your main point of contact on any commission issues, and she will be the one to actually close out, and then everything will get ACH and direct deposited to whatever account you have on file with us. So inside of your packet, in all of your blue bags, there is a Coldwell Banker folder. Inside of there is an ACH form, and that'll be one of those things that you'll need to fill out and get back to Steph, who will help us process all of those. Make sure we're on the right page. Any new forms? There's really only one new form that we operate on outside of what you're gonna do, that we will need. I'm guessing you probably have additional forms that we will love and maybe take and continue to use, but that's our closing worksheet. And inside of the folder, inside of your bag, you will have a copy of that. Once we get you transitioned in MLS, that closing worksheet is also inside of Transaction Desk. And if you actually pull all the information from MLS to Transaction Desk, most of the information will populate: address, MLS, listing agents, selling agents, all that kind of stuff will populate over. So hopefully that's a really easy add, but that's the form that we use to make sure all of our internal checks are appropriate. Okay, so that's really the only new form that you're going to have to fill out. And I know you have a similar form. We just have our own version of it. Next one. What about your buyers and sellers? So your clients technically are now clients of Coldwell Banker Crown Realtors. They do not need to sign anything. However, we do have an affidavit that I will get you, which some people like to use as a conversation piece, similar to replacing yard signs. Okay. Some people like to use it as a way to sit back down, touch the clients, remind them of, hey, our brokerage is growing, here's the change, and making that opportunity to go forward. So we will have an affidavit form for you. And if you choose to use it, you may. You do not have to, though. Our attorneys have told me that the way the contracts were written, everything is fine and assignable over, but some people, again, like to have that touch, and that's just kind of your call on how you want to handle it. Will you need to sign a new ICA? Yes, you will. In our one-on-ones, we'll go over that. I have copies ready for you. I do not expect you to sign it today because frankly, it's a long document and I want you to read it and not blindly sign it. Will your commission change? No. We were able to look at the models that are currently in place and honor what is there. So the commission models as they currently stand, you guys will be grandfathered in, so there will be no change moving forward. Now, in the event that we present new programs and new opportunities for commission plans, you will always have the opportunity to opt into new ones, but you will always be grandfathered in on what you currently are, right? So again, it's a way of honoring what you have done and what your previous leadership has done and saying that, well, we're not looking to come in and take what isn't ours, right? We want to invest in you. We need you to invest in us. And until we have a balance in what that looks like, we're not going to change anything. Make sense?
Can we still move up and down
Yes, great question.
on the same?
On the same scale.
Okay.
Yes, great question. Yep.
Moving up is the option.
Yeah.
That was the option, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to move down, I'm not against it, but yeah,
But you
no.
don't encourage it. You're
We
not
don't
against
encourage
it, but you're not, you don't encourage it.
So royalty fees, we do have an increase, right? So here's the great news, because I know Counselor and their model really well. You've been paying 3.5, and in my opinion, been getting nothing but a name and a new logo. I'd argue that that's probably what you got. Not a bad company by any stretch. I'm not looking to say that. They operate really great companies around, but from the brand, I just don't see a lot of value. And anybody I've talked to in a counselor office says the same thing. They all kind of run their own systems. They all kind of run their own internal things. And I mean, if you look at just again, the franchise disclosure document, which is public in the state of Minnesota, there's just not much there. Okay. So that 3.5, we have a 6%. Okay. And so that will be a change, and we will talk in our one-on-ones on how we're going to get to the 6% and what that looks like. So that is going to be a change. Now, my question to you is, yes, that is an investment that you're making into our new company and our new partnership. I think when Donna's done and showing you some of the value propositions that we bring to the table, if you're smart, you will run the numbers on, well, what is that extra 2.5% going to cost me? And you will have to decide if you feel that the tools we have are worth that investment. And I promise you, they are. between what the brand gives and what our company brings to the table, it's a value proposition of about $48,000 if you use every tool. Yes, I figured it out because at the end of the day, I gotta know, well, what your investment into us, are we able to return that? And I'll tell you, your office space is hands down the nicest one, okay? So some of you are like, yeah, I like to work at my office. I don't blame you. So that alone has some value, but that's not even included in that. I'm just talking about tools, staffing, resources that are available to you, not including office space, which you now have the ability to go to 5 offices around greater Minnesota and work from. So E&O, right now we have an E&O policy where agents pay your fair share of your Arizona emissions. So what we do on an annualized basis, right around May, that we do our renewal. And this last year was $270 per agent. Okay, I know currently your E&O is covered, or was covered, I should say. For this next year, I'm paying your E&O share.
Thanks.
There you go. Wait for it. I appreciate that, Sean. So it's a number that comes out. We get the updated policy. We share that number with you in about a month. It goes on just your agent ledger with us, and then we just take it out of the next closing. And then if you don't have it, some people just choose to pay it because they want it gone. It's whatever you want to do. Some people prepay before the end of the year. That's fine. We can work with you on whatever it looks like, but it's a pretty minimal fee to cover that. Will you have to transfer your license? Nope. Our central services team will be working on that today. So that's going to be a really easy thing to work on. Turn to the page. What will happen to all your listings? So our team will work to get everything transferred, which will be a pain. But we will look to transfer everything in MLS. We'll get a new office ID number. You'll get moved into MLS with a new office ID number. All the listings will get moved. Don't panic. We will help you with all of that. Okay, so we will get with you once we have an active list and we get people moved. Then you'll start to see all of those listings start to transition over. And if people panic, this is where the fun begins, right?
Is
Yes.
my login going to change?
No.
Thank you.
Excellent question, Melissa. No, your login should not change. You'll just be reassociated. So that's fine.
I have a question on switching those over.
Yeah.
Is it a chronological order of address or MLS number, or are you working on Jason's first, Dave's second? Is it agent by agent? So if one agent has 3 listings, you work on those 3?
Yep.
And then move on to the next?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, so we'll take an inventory. I'm sure our team has already taken it as of this morning. And they like to start, and I don't care, but this is how they do it. They start from the bottom. So if you have 1 active listing, you're the first agent who gets transitioned. Then they put a check by your name. Then they go to the next and they work their way up. So that's how it'll happen.
And what about, listings that are going active today? That just does the same thing? and
No,
they get
yeah.
bought And like,
Yeah, no change in your process right now.
Okay.
And then again, it will start to change once we get there and you and I will walk through a bunch of that. But as far as the agents you guys go, nothing is going to change. You can operate as you are, and we will notify you when new changes are gonna come. And you'll see MLS, it'll just automatically update itself magically, and then you'll see your listings slowly start to populate in. Now, if you're a control freak and you want to help with that process, just let me know so I can notify our team that you want to do it on your own or however you want to do it. There's a really great copy feature in Add Edit, so it doesn't take a lot. We just got to make sure we do it right.
So are we still allowed to edit our own listings?
100%.
Okay.
I have no problem with you touching your listings because you guys know way more about it than our team ever will. And at the end of the day, if you get fined and dinged, who's paying the fine?
You are.
Wrong, you are.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Put in their listing.
Yeah. So I mean, you as the agent get fined, right? So that's why we don't want to micromanage that situation, because especially with the high demand of the market, if something's moving quick, you need the ability to make those changes. So yeah, we allow that on our side. Yeah. great question.
Sorry, with the ad edit, will you let us know since, well, I guess Brian can put them in mind. I was just thinking, will you get mine changed? And will I be notified of, I can start working in the field and just.
Yeah, so today, when we leave, there's a form, this is the W-9, I got it, right?
okay, yep.
So inside of your bag, the folder that we have for you, there's a W-9 form. I need that filled out and turned over somewhere in a pile, because that's what we need to use, because we need your social security numbers to go pull licenses today. Okay, so that's one thing we have to have before you leave, and I do need your social, okay, on that W-9. Some of you I know get paid, you want your commission checks to go to an LLC or an S corp or whatever you have set up, that is totally fine. We will talk about that in our one-on-ones. The W-9 I need right now is for transferring your license, so I need your social security number as it's tied to your license with the Department of Commerce. That makes sense?
So sorry we grabbed everyone's yesterday. We were just trying to get everything lined up for Brendan, so I didn't know you had
Yeah, that's
what's
okay.
going on.
No, that's okay. So that's, that was a quick ad that we had, so we just need that by the end of now. So yes, you will, once we get your license transferred, you'll get an email notification from the DOC. And then we'll go to the Northwest Association and get your license transferred to the new office, and we'll move you, and then you'll get all the notification stuff. Yep. Good questions. Company phone number, your phone, I don't know if anybody uses the office line number, but it will stay. We will retain that. And so if you have it out there, it will still ring. In a way it goes. So there will be no change to that if you have it posted anywhere. I'm guessing most of you on any marketing materials have your cell phone number, right? But in the event that you do use the office number, that will stay in place. Email, none of you, there are no changes to email. A lot of you operate on your own individual Gmail ones. Now, I'm not a personal fan of you using a free email service, but we'll have that conversation as it relates to errors of omissions later. But for now, just know that you can continue to operate however you want. Okay, so if you use, tmontgomery.net, feel free to continue to use that. If you're using something that has counselor in it, I will just warn you, you're going to have to make a change because you no longer have the right to use the Counselor Realty name in any capacity. But are they going to come after you right now? I don't know, but I'm just letting you know that you will have to go through a transition. But I don't think anybody is. I'm pretty sure most of you are using some form of a generic brand, which is way better, by the way. Questions on that? Awesome. Awards and recognition. So one thing we do at the brand is we like to honor people, right, and agents for production and value and contribution. And so we are actually going to take all of your awards from January 1 of your production, and we will apply that towards your criteria. Inside of your folder, again, you will see what the different criteria is for all the different statuses that are out there. Sometimes that will get you invited to elite events at our international convention that's happening in October this year. That'll be in Atlanta. You'll hear more about that. I don't know if you're sharing. Yeah, Don will share about that. And all that fun stuff. Your updated personal marketing materials. This is the part where I think a lot of people really panic, okay? For each and every one of you, we give you a marketing budget to rebrand, okay? It is based upon the last 12 months listing and production material. If you're a strict buyer's agent, you will have less of a marketing budget. If you are a strict listing agent, you will have a higher marketing budget. So we try to match it to the best of your business to help you in that process. If you have done zero production in the last 12 months, you will at least get some business cards and a couple signs from me, okay? I'm a firm believer in custom yard signs, meaning that it should be on your brand, but meet our identity standards and Department of Commerce regulations, okay? So if you want to operate underneath your team, right, or your own individual branding, I do not care. I want you to build your business. We are here as a partner to your business, and we will help you do that to the best of our ability, okay? Now, if you want just the stock Coldwell banker signs, that's super cool. There's an order form in the folder in your bag that you can look at, or if you have a different solution, we can work in our one-on-ones on how we will handle allocating those funds to your marketing budget. Making sense? The other thing I want to be really clear about, use what you got. Okay, the brand isn't hearing this, but I'm just going to tell you, use what you have. If you got a stack of business cards, burn through them. You got pens, burn through them. You got koozies, burn through them. Right? Because I'm guessing most of them still have your name and your number on them, and the consumer really doesn't care who you partner your business with, because all they're partnering with is who? Exactly. They're partnering with you. They don't care that you're now going to go to Coldwell Banker. You're going to Coldwell Banker because we're going to bring value to you, and that's the benefit. The consumer is going to look at it. They're going to get a natural benefit because we're going to increase you and your value proposition. But at the end of the day, they're not going to know. So if you spend money and you have marketing material, burn through it as quickly as you can, and then let's get you better looking stuff. Okay. Will there be a public announcement? Yeah, today. Well done. So we will do, there'll be a stack of press releases that go out, some social announcements and different things like that. They might have already gone out actually. We will plan, once we have kind of some rebrand stuff on the building, we will do kind of a new ribbon cutting ceremony. Thinking of like, maybe it will probably tie it with a client appreciation event at the office, maybe get a barbecue truck or something out front and do something kind of fun. I really like balloons. I have 4 kids, so I've discovered that balloons go a long way with kids and adults. So, it's amazing. I'll still see 60-year-old guys, making the fart noises with the balloons. So that's part of what we'll do on the public announcement side. You'll start to see things like the Facebook change, Google ads will start to change. You'll begin to start to see some of that. It'll be a process, but we will get there. So you get the opportunity now to call all of your clients and your sphere and everybody else and brag about how your company is growing, and how you have all these new tools and opportunities to serve them with, and you're super excited about it. What else do you need to update?
Sorry.
That's great. So what else do you need to update inside of here? I got a list of stuff that you can update and different things that you can walk through. There's all sorts of, I'll send you a digital copy because there are some hard links out of this too, so that you can click on that you'll be able to go through and kind of walk through things like our Coldwell Banker Network, our internal stuff, and all of that. It is warm, but that's okay. So if you switch over to page 7, you will see a copy of the press release that went out, or will go out. I guess, if I'm really honest, that's not my job. Somebody else does that on our team. So this is what has gone out to all the news outlets and everything else. So it's very possible people may already be seeing it, if I'm completely honest. So there is that opportunity. If you go to page 9 in our launch book here, this is the sample sphere of influence letter / script you can use. Okay. This is something, if you are using a CRM, this is one that I would recommend you just copy and you can tweak for your own liking and send out as quickly as you need. If you need logos or you need anything, Donna's going to help us get access to all of that, and whatever you need, you just ask. And like I said, I'm going to be here in office all day today and tomorrow. So I am yours. Like, I want to be here to help you as best that I can. So if you need something, just ask. And what I don't know, Donna's way smarter at a lot of this, and she'll be able to get it for me. So, but this is just an example that you can use. You can copy, you can rip off and duplicate, you can totally do something different. You're not going to hurt my feelings. We just want to equip you to have the conversation. Then lastly, on page 10, been pretty good on time. Page 10 here, you are going to see, as a terrible real estate agent that I am, I ran out of business cards, so I put my digital one on here. Okay. So you do have all of my information. I will get you an actual card in the future. I'll actually probably end up texting you all today at some point in time. But the important information, and again, in the digital copy, we have a company link tree that we run where we say, hey, bookmark this. This will have a link to like our back office system, MLS, important links, Zoom meeting links. We try to dump everything important into one link, so that if you're ever wondering where it is, you could just go, oh, I'm going to go to the company link tree, and there it all is. And that way you don't have to remember 8 million different links. So that's what we do there for you. And then we do have our internal company Facebook book, which you'll all get invited to. You'll all be getting nice friend requests from me and follow requests now that it's official. Some of you I know reached out prior to, and I was like, I'm not going to hit yes to this invitation because I don't know who's going to see it, and we don't need rumors flying early. So, yeah. And then lastly, some of our support team down here, their direct contact information as well. So there's a lot of questions and a lot of exciting stuff that's about to happen, and it's super fun, and I'm jacked to be up here with you guys. What questions did I not address? Is there something that came up that maybe we didn't cover? This is, again, just trying to hit a real high level overview to hopefully answer some of the bigger questions as you think about moving your business and what that looks like.
How often would you say you're going to visit Bemidji?
I'm going to hope at a minimum of 2 times a month.
Okay.
Can you talk a little bit about meetings that
Yeah.
you discussed and how that,
Would you like to?
well, I know portions of it.
So go ahead.
So just so everybody knows, it was important to us to still have Tuesday meetings, which we're not, Hoovers and Montgomerys will not be running anymore. However, we're gonna get together, talk about inventory, Anybody have any issues, things like that, and go over inventory and go on tour. Because to me, that, I think that's very important to our office and everybody enjoys doing that. Brandon, I'll let you talk about some of your links and trainings
Yeah.
that can correlate with that.
Yeah,
So,
so our cadence as a company is we do, basically, it's the first week, we will begin doing kind of a company-wide training. It'll be done via Zoom. My favorite part is we have some agents who do it while they're at the gym, which is really entertaining. Some people get to the office and they'll do a watch party, that's totally fine. But we do it in a way that's our way to basically push information at you, right? Like, hey, we're gonna talk about this new form. Hey, we have this issue come up. Hey, it's all push information, okay? So that'll be usually the first week. The second week, then, this is what I'm anticipating your cadence will be. After that, you guys will then get together and do your tours, right? Following week, you'll get together, talk about available inventory. That'll be an agent-led meeting, okay? So we don't, staff will not be involved. That's on you guys because you want that, okay? And I love it, by the way. So you will get to do that. The third week, right? Hopefully I will be here, but it will still be the agent-led meeting. If I have something to share or something to bring up, I certainly will. In the fourth week, you'll get back together, agent-led, do your tour, and away we go. That would kind of be the cadence. The additional stuff we offer is we do, right now we have a coffee and contracts thing that we do on the off Tuesdays, okay? If you get, and depending upon cadence, usually it's 9 to 9:30, but we're always open to moving that, where we spend 30 minutes and it's an open forum about, hey, what issues do you have on a contract? What questions, kind of like a broker or a deal doctor kind of scenario. And if nobody has anything, because usually you call me and then we talk it through. But if nobody has anything, then we just start working through our forms and we do it line by line. I think we're on our 5th video and I think we're on the 3rd page of the listing contract as an example. Like, it is a deep dive into understanding the contracts and making sure that you know what you're doing. We actually have our company attorney coming pretty soon because I'm seeing a lot of really lazy clauses being written. That I start smacking people around. If you write poor contracts, you and I are going to have a problem. Because guess who goes to court if you write a poor contract? Not you guys anymore, right? So we talk about that. So like our company attorney might come in on one of our push trainings, right? And say, here's a couple of things. If you're going to write clauses, make sure you're hitting these 3 things, right? And all the true clause needs to have these 3, 4 things, whatever they're. In addition to that, we're looking at doing some follow-up training. We have our Coldwell Bank University, which Donna will probably hit on, which has a load of content for you to professionally develop, right, on your own. There's live courses, there's self-paced that go inside of there. And in addition to that, we do tech trainings kind of ad hoc, right? So if somebody they're like, hey, can we talk about Canva? Yep, let's talk about Canva. I have a really good training on writing your bio. So we brought in somebody from Fredericksburg, West Virginia. I think it was West Virginia. Is that where Matthew Rathbun is? Somewhere over there. Anyway, had a real good friend come in. They did an hour training on writing your bio, right? Awesome thing. And we continue to kind of work through a lot of that stuff. So we do as much or as little training as you want is really the bottom line. But our meeting cadence is going to be pretty well set to honor what you guys have done and find value. Did I answer your question?
yes.
Okay. Awesome.
What day did you say all these meetings were? I get distracted really easy.
Don't worry. Great, right? We will get you a lot of information forthcoming, so you don't have to worry about it. Just mostly during the day.
Really? It's just different every week? Great.
We send you an entire, we send you a monthly calendar.
Sarcastic.
Yeah.
I'd love for it to all be like one day, so I can go babysit for one day.
No, it's weird. It's really hard to get people to real estate agents to sit down for the entire day. So, other questions?
Are you a managing broker or are you also an agent?
I am a managing broker. Are you asking if I'm a competing agent?
Okay.
Is that what you're asking? I will not compete up here. I compete in my market in Alec right now, and I'm trying really hard not to. But when I graduated high school, I left, said I'd never come back, married an Alec girl. So where do I live? In Alec. Inevitably people ask, and there are certain people that I love dearly, and I will take them because it's what they want. So I think last year, I think I did 6 million last year and I tried not to. I'm probably on par for 2, I would guess, this year. Because more and more of it, I'm just like, nope.
Transitioning
Transition.
your business
Yep.
model. Yeah.
So, And for, any of you who are looking at transitioning, I mean, it's not easy when somebody you know and love and you change their life, getting them into a house and they come back and say, I'm ready to make a change. You're like, how do I not help you? So that's the answer. Yes and yes. For this market, yes and no. I will not sell anything up here. That is a promise to you.
So as a offsite managing broker.
Mhm.
In your other offices, has there been any issues with not having a office or a manager on site? Or you're available pretty much?
8 to 8 is my availability.
Okay,
Yep. So here's my promise to you, and I do keep it. If you call or text, the chances of me picking up in that moment are probably slim, if I'm really honest with you, okay? And it's not because I don't love you, and it's not because I don't care about you, it's because somebody else has my attention and I want to honor that. If you call me twice in a row, it better be an emergency, the building better be on fire, you better be dying, okay? And then I will pick up, that's my personal rule. If you call me twice in a row, I will stop what I'm doing and I will pick up my phone. Do not break my trust with that. That's my warning shot, okay? However, between 8 and 8, if you call or text, if you leave me a message or you text me, my goal, my kids go to bed, I try to clear every single one of my notifications before the end of the day. Even if it's I will get you tomorrow, is this an emergency? If not, let's do it tomorrow. And if you say, no, please call me, I'm gonna pick up the phone and I'm gonna call you and we're gonna solve whatever you need. If you can't, it's really funny, it's a generational thing and a blessing since COVID, if I'm really honest. Most of the time, a lot of my agents have no idea where I am. Which is great. And at the same point in time, it's one of those things that because Zoom allows us the opportunity.
I don't have my rookie.
That's true. Because Zoom, FaceTime, text, all of that stuff, you and I can have the most effective conversation almost as if I'm sitting across from you, if I'm sitting, at my office in Morris. So I've really yet to find a situation where it doesn't work. However, my commitment to you is that if it doesn't work, let's have a conversation about it and let's fix it.
and I'll be honest, that's my biggest hang up
Yeah.
is, we've had like this, Doug picks up his phone.
Mhm.
And there's times of the essence, and there are times when we need somebody, boom, 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 boom. When I first came into the business, I was hired at that office and by another brokerage, and by the time I got my license, Coldwell Baker had bought it out.
Mhm.
And we had a managing office manager on site, even though our broker was not here.
Mhm.
And there were times where that was pretty important. So I just think it's pretty important that we know that we've got some support if we need it, if there's not an on-site person.
Yeah, and I would encourage you. I want you to call Neil Legiel out of our Sox Center office and ask him how my communication goes with it.
Okay.
Okay. You can call Mitch Roloff from our Morris office. You can ask him, how's your communication? Do you get a hold of Brandon? Does he get back to you? Like, I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. And if you got a problem with it, let's fix it. Like, just in all reality. I know how I respond, and I know that I don't know you super well, but you're now part of my family. And I love you, and I'm gonna care for you, and I'm gonna fight for you. I'm gonna advocate for you. And sometimes that means I don't go to bed until 10 because you and I are gonna be on the phone. And that's okay. Because this is my job, and I firmly believe this is what the Lord has me doing right now in this season, is really fighting for you. So if I have to do that, and that means that I don't get to go on a date tonight with my wife because I'm here with you guys, that sucks. But you know what? Because I really like my wife, but that's the sacrifice that we're gonna make. That's the sacrifice my wife makes. That's the sacrifice my kids make. That's what we're doing right now. So, and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna bless you and say, I get it. And if everybody comes and they're like, we got a problem, okay, great. Let's see if we can solve that problem. And maybe I'm a solution to it, maybe I'm not. I can't do everything. Like, that's the bottom line.
But you'll be open to listen,
100%.
and if it isn't working, going, okay, what can we do to make everybody comfortable or feel like they're being heard?
Because right now, if you have a problem, how do you solve it? I'm gonna just pick on you. Is that okay? Since we're having a conversation.
No, that's
So
important.
you have a problem, who do you call?
So if we have a problem, usually I'll try to talk it out with whoever's in the office.
Okay.
We are, honestly, our office is awesome that way.
I love that about all of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
right? Yep.
And so that's normally how, but if it's an issue that needs to be taken care of immediately, I do call that.
You don't go find him and try to sit down with him, you give him a call.
Yep, and I will say 99% of the time he picks up.
Mhm.
And so, and I'm not trying to be.
No, this is a great conversation.
And I look at that and I'm like, okay, you've got 5 offices and you're adding one more,
Mhm.
you're only one person.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where my, and I'm not saying we have problems all the time, I'm just trying to get over, what my anxiety is.
Yeah, the other thing, and so this is good clarity because I didn't communicate something well. So we have something that we call the broker services group. So right now, our broker services group is made up of me and Christine Lambertson, who's an associate broker. Most of your files will be reviewed by Christine. She will go through and she audits and says, hey, you missed this checkbox, make sure you get this signature, get this date right. Her and I do that, we tag team. The other part of that, though, is when I'm not available, she is available to answer questions on contract related stuff, to basically deal doctor, right? We call it broker services because deal doctor feels funny. But that's what we do. So there are 2 of us to help in those situations. Most everybody chooses to call me, which is totally fine. You have my cell phone number, use it, right? And in the event that there's a real big emergency, you know, most time, like yesterday, one of Mitch actually, who I talk to every single day, $16 million producer, and he calls me every day with a question or verification, and we talk. And now it's the point where they're like 3-second conversations. Because he asks the question, I answer, and he goes by. So, I mean, it can be that fast, or Neil, I'll talk to you for 20 minutes about one issue. So,
And so that's just, sorry
No, go ahead.
to interrupt, but just, maybe to make you feel more comfortable, we have been talking to Brandon for many, many, many months, and him and I have had tons and tons of communication. When I call him, he answers. When I text him, he answers.
And when he said earlier, we drilled him on some things, this
Yeah.
is one of the things we drilled him on.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
Yeah.
very much so.
so, because I feel like how you answered it, maybe made people think that it's gonna go to voicemail every single time.
And you're not
Get
calling
back
them
to
till
after
7:45.
Okay,
So-
good
yeah,
clarity.
and
Sorry.
that's my thought, like, okay, sometimes there's things that need to be answered, and, because you don't necessarily work in our area, a lot of things that need to be answered are with other agents from other offices and other brokers from other offices. And so when we're used to dealing with those personalities,
Mhm.
and so it's a little bit easier, and so that's, and I'm not trying to be cuckoo, I'm just letting you know the little bit of anxiety that I have that comes with.
Well, here's the thing, right? If you have this, somebody else in the room
Yeah.
does, statistically speaking,
Yeah.
right? And I appreciate the clarity and the feedback, because these 4 have had a lot of communication with me.
Yeah.
My guarantee and my promise to you is I will get back to you by the end of the day. That is my promise. However, what reality says, and this would be an interesting thing to track, I bet I either pick up the phone because I'm transitioning out of sales, right?
Mhm.
You are my clients. So I say, okay, if you have a problem, you're calling me for a purpose. I know your time is too valuable. You wouldn't be wasting it to call me to talk about the boat you saw, on the lake or whatever. Maybe, but that sounds fun too. But careful example, because I'm actually fascinated by it. Double decker pontoons and slides. But anyway, I bet I pick up, I would say 90% of the time, I bet I pick up or respond to the text message in the moment, because you got to remember, my job is transitioning out of sales. And so now I'm responding to you as if you would respond to a client. I know that your time is precious and you're going to reach out to me if you need something. My goal is to respond right away. I just can't always promise that. So my promise is by the end of the day, I will do it. And I appreciate you calling out on that. Because I bet it's pretty quick. I mean, my phone's blowing up now and I'm not responding because you're my priority right now. But I guarantee you, everybody knows that I'm gonna get back to them because that's my commitments. But I would say 90% of the time I probably pick up
and
or respond.
probably actually higher than that, I would have to say, and there's 4 of us and 1 of you, your response is like this. Our responses are like, do I'm sure it drives you crazy. Because
You guys just talk, it's great, I love it.
And I think,
get looked at.
because I field a lot of questions currently, I think as an agent, you also need to go, what is the question? Am I standing at a closing? My closing started at 9, it's 9:15, and we have a roadblock where seller and buyer are saying, no,
Yeah.
something is wrong. Or, and I think that if you call or text and you say I have an emergency, I'm at a closing and there's something going on, versus I'm filling out disclosures, we're wondering, we should disclose that the cat is buried under the deck. And you go, I think there's a difference of going, this has to be solved now, or we're not closing, or we can modify the disclosure anytime between now and the time of close.
Yeah.
What's the emergency?
However, I want to clarify as well, we still are able to bounce things off of everybody like we always have. And Dave and I and Stephen and I have had different questions where we're talking about things, and it's like, here's how I believe how it should be done. However, in this particular situation, I would call Doug, because he's the broker.
Yep.
And run this by him to make sure that what we discussed is the right thing to do. So that's not
And I
gonna
think
change.
when it does come to me, many times it's a question, Jason and I talk quite a bit. I think many times the question is like, what do you think the right answer is? And he says, and I'm like, that's exactly what it is. Sometimes you just need to bounce it.
I was gonna
It's
kind
just
of say
about-
that as the same
should I do
thing,
this?
you know,
Should I do this?
if you came in the office the other day, sat down and said, I need your advice, and you said everything out loud, and she said, okay, I guess I answered my question already, you know, and so, yeah. Yeah,
And that's one of the things that is a company culture of ours, and one of the reasons I think this is a good fit is because we are collaborative. I don't look at it as competition, right? We're a community over competition is how I always say it. And this is a collaborative approach. I'm just now an additional resource.
Yeah.
That's it. So if you, and I couldn't tell you how many times I think I get 3 agents who put me on speakerphone. They're like, hey, we just talked about this. This is what we think. Are we right? And I say, yes, sir. And hopefully most of the time it's yes. But, and then if it's no, then I write it down and I go, guess what we're gonna talk about at a meeting, you know?
Yeah.
Because inevitably, if you get a question, it's gonna come up.
Yeah.
Did that answer that?
It
Okay.
did, thank you.
Are you feeling better?
I feel.
Praise the Lord.
So at what point do you review these contracts?
When you submit them. So listing contracts will come in, they get uploaded into our back office system, they get assigned to broker services. Christine starts working through her list, kind of a first in, first review. Then if there's any errors, it'll get kicked back to you, or question marks that we need answered, it'll get kicked back to you. And then we just go fix it. Contracts come in, same way. So, I don't know, man, I bet there was 72 hours, 48, 72 hours they get reviewed from submission. That's my guess. We don't track it, so I guess I don't have a specific time.
Can you touch a little bit on, since there's lots of old school people write everything and have paper files, I understand we're going to be going kind of away from paper files a little bit, can you kind of check that?
That's a fantastic question. Thank you for asking. You run your business, right? I don't care how you run your business as long as you run it ethically and legally. That's it. You want to run your book on paper, have at it. When it gets to our team, we will scan it and turn it digital, and we will shred the paper. But if you want to keep your own files, I have no problem with it.
So those of you that like to have your own file, you can do the same thing today and the same thing next week.
but it will be scanned in.
Right, and so then will our,
This is my Bemidji folder.
Oh, you just so much.
This is the condensed version. This is my folder for you guys, or at least the important stuff that I brought with. When I am done and we are wrapped up here, probably in 6 months, I will scan this, put it in the cloud in my server, and then I will throw this.
totally makes sense. So then like, just we, with our office files, so say an office needs something, another office needs something from our office for like a quick water test or something like that, that we have in there. Does Steph then have access to all of those files so that she can pull something from that and get it to another office? Okay,
Do we have access? Can we
Yes.
call it a portal? Or
Yep.
what is it?
Yep, it's a back office system. You have access yourselves to log in and pull down files.
okay,
It's actually a portal set up to where clients, co-oping agents, title companies, lenders can all log in if you give them access. They can log into the transaction and they can pull down any of the files that you give them access to. So,
So for those of you who don't do anything like this now, on our team, we've used Realball for years. And I still have a habit of calling Becky saying, can you dig this file out? And she goes, let me just log into Realball. Because every
Yeah.
transaction we've done in the past has all these individual files, who the agents were, who the lender was, who the title company was, who the home inspector was, and all the notes. And it's all digital. Now, we still have paper, but it's a slick thing because it's like at the moment, you're relisting a house that you sold 5 years ago. And you wanna have a copy of the prior disclosures, we already have. it. Where some of you are used to going back to the office, going down to the kitchen, finding that file, making a copy of them and bringing it back.
Yeah.
You can do
Yeah,
it.
that hasn't been in our office
You-
yet.
It'll be exciting.
There's about this many files and then.
So what is gonna happen with all of our current paper files that we have at the office?
Yeah,
Like
so,
let me say, current tax transactions.
Since 2014, all of them.
yeah, so anything beyond 7 years, is that 2014 now?
No, 2016.
2016, thank you. Anything beyond there will shred.
And
Now,
so,
I'm not gonna it's not gonna happen tomorrow, okay, it'll be a while. But we don't need to keep those, and then there's an extended liability if we do keep those as a brokerage. Beyond the 7-year statutory requirement, so now we have exposure, if we keep those files, right? So,
So we're have exposure right now.
well, you don't, I do.
We did have exposure.
So that's how that'll work, but yeah, the way we work through it now, the digital side is everything will get, I mean, we also have the option, if you guys operate, and that's how you work it, that's fine. When we transitioned to a fully digital office, our agents, still wanted listing sheets. They wanted them in a folder, in a filing cabinet, so they could go grab one of our listings and run to a showing. Totally fine. We said, if that's helpful, yeah, we'll do it. I'm not saying we have to go completely virtual. No. If there's a process, and this was done, it's like, if there's a process in the office that works, it is meaningful and it's paper, I don't care. I'm just letting you know that our model is we do everything electronic. It's just more cost effective. It's more accessible. And it's easier when the brand wants to audit me. It's easier when the DOC wants to audit. I mean, it's, yeah, here, take what you want.
You're gonna have a lot of filing cabinets. for sale.
Oh, man, it feels like it all the time. Yeah, all the time. So that's how we work it. So if you run in a paper folder, I get it. I still do. Some things are just easier, right? I get that. I understand that tactical thing. Totally fine. But once it hits us and it closes and we do everything, we'll scan it. The company will not likely retain a file anywhere.
It's a file, but it's
digital. Yeah, sorry. We will retain the file, but it's cloud-based. Yes.
Quick question. So when we do submit a listing contract, a PA, we just, I would assume, just email it to, remind me of her name, you or her,
So if you are
or
looking,
Steph?
it'll go to Steph.
Steph, and then
Yep.
she will relay that. Okay, and
You over there, yeah.
And then as far as like the digital system that we're talking about to get a file from last year or the other week, do you mind sharing what the system is? Is it like a Google Drive based deal or is it?
Are you talking like existing files that are in the kitchen?
Yeah, yes, well, or just,
Or
when we
going
get,
forward,
yeah,
yeah.
going forward, when we do have a system to where we go back and grab a file
Yep.
digitally, what is that system? What is it?
The system we use is called Back at You. It
Okay.
used to be known as Realistic.
Okay,
If you go to mycbcrown.com, you will see the login page. And by the end of the day, you will all get your login information to get in there.
okay,
And then there's a bunch of trainings available. We'll do some trainings as a team to kind of walk you through on how to get into it, but that's the name of the system.
great. Okay, and then so when we do have a login, only the files that like we're on a team together, it would only be the files that we would be
You
able to
only have
access.
to your
Okay,
files.
so I wouldn't be able to like see any, I'm assuming, I knew that was the case, but
Great clarity.
but when you said, title companies and lender or whoever can access that, you just have to give them access
Correct.
to
You
that.
have to grant them.
Okay,
access.
is
Yeah.
that,
I'm assuming you can say, this is the information in there that they can
Access.
access.
Oh, yeah.
file.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it by a
Not your
single
personal
file.
notes. by-
Okay.
Yeah, you can say they only have access to our closing worksheet. That's the only thing that the title company has access to.
okay,
You
and
can-
I'm sure
you
your
can do that.
training that you just mentioned will go over a lot of
We will
those
go over a
small
lot,
things.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. 'Cause
Now, I
that's
will
one
tell you-
thing I am excited about,
Yeah.
but I questions on it, so.
Yeah.
So with the questions, you're gonna see the how different people operate, the operational people or,
Yeah.
procedural.
The
or-
old versus the young.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's-
Speaking of title companies.
Yep.
Do you have specific title companies that you want to deal with, or does it remain
Your
our
decision.
choice?
Your decision, yeah.
You're not, okay.
We like to be hyper local. If you got local title companies you like to use them. I use one out of Sauk Center just because it's the best experience that I have for my clients. Totally your call. I trust you to do the right thing.
As far as paper goes, there's no, paper page. With your brokerage, correct?
Pay per page.
Yep, some brokerages will charge you 15 cents a page to print.
You talking like at the office?
Yes.
Yeah, so in a digital world, this is how we're gonna start. I pay for the toner at the office. I don't know if you have accounting codes, you will. If you don't already have your own printer code, you will have one. In that event, we start to look at it, and if you get crazy, we'll have a conversation about it. But the way we're seeing our industry go, I'm like, I'm not gonna charge you 12 cents this month because you ran 4 black and white copies. I just don't think that's a win, I guess.
Well, that is, it might be different, how they audit going crazy, things like that, but that's how we run it.
Yeah.
And saying, you know, gosh, if you're, appears like
It
you
seems
are.
to me, the last conversation we've had with Marco, year after year after year, even though our transactions have gone up, I think our usage has gone down
Well, and we are on an unlimited.
as a whole. And the plan that we're on doesn't matter. But I think he said that because are they using them just as much? Yes, but it's for scanning and for emailing. So you're taking them and
Digitize.
you're not spitting out that copy. So even though it's used, I think the numbers are down.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, and let me clarify, we are on an unlimited plan. However, there is a maximum per year based on our usage
Usage, yeah.
in the past or whatever, but.
And like if you are on a nonprofit board or something and you're like, hey, we'd like to run, 500 letters, great, come ask, we will say yes. Alec does, we do a lot of stuff for Dollars for Scholars in our Alec office. Crosby does a lot for the Cuyuna Mountain Bike Association. So like we have no problem with it. If you're running massive amounts of color stuff, well, we might ask for a reimbursement, but we're gonna be cheaper than going to some print shop, So that's what I say when you're getting crazy.
We were a
with
little
stuff.
bit nervous, like when you said yesterday, can I print some colored copies? We frown upon colored copies.
Yeah,
Another quick question on earnest money. Do you prefer like a digitally submitting earnest money, or is it now? We do. Okay, that's my
Sorry.
question.
okay,
Okay,
you guys don't have to trust me.
yeah.
Sorry.
No one
Trust
does.
funds now, and it will be your call. I found the adoption rate with trust funds is astounding.
Okay,
But I have a client who's dropping off a check tomorrow because that's what they want to do.
okay.
I don't care,
And as far as,
just not cash. I don't want cash.
yeah, me either. Training for that trust fund kind of software, is that something we will see?
Yep.
As well? Okay.
And if you want to, they have open training that
Okay.
you can just go take. It's super simple. But they do have, we haven't lined up, I want to say in 2 weeks, I think. And this is like further down the rabbit hole, right, that we're already planning for you. But if you're like, yeah, I want that now, you can go watch the training. It's maybe like an hour, probably not. even,
Okay.
And it's real simple.
Great, okay.
But yeah,
Can you just touch on the trust funds for maybe not everybody that knows?
Sure. So if you guys are unfamiliar, trust funds is an electronic methodology to receive or send trust funds, right? Your earnest money. So we can, through an email signature, and there's a couple security checks inside of there, you can email the request on behalf of your buyers. There's a $5 convenience fee paid by the buyer. You can opt to pay it if you want, but I don't advise that. Let your client decide if they want to pay the convenience fee. That's great. If they want to deliver a check, that's fine. Just make sure it's in a timely fashion. So from that aspect, it's the little TF logo. It actually looks like 2 check marks, kind of next to the supplement section. Oh no, you guys are FBS. Shoot.
No,
No,
full marks going off.
No, yeah, sorry. Thanks. You have pulled those reports and my mind went FBS. Okay, so yeah, your full North Star on Matrix. So on the top side, next to the supplements, the showing time little icon, you'll see a little TF that's green and blue that's there. That's the trust funds icon. And that'll take you right to the portal. You do it right off the listing page and it kind of takes all that information in. So that'll be available to you once we get you moved over to our office site. It's a huge win. Any other questions? Or would you rather hear from Donna, who's way better at this than I love it. So Donna's gonna come share with you guys a little bit about the brand and some of the tools and stuff that we have. And if you have more questions, by all means, we'll I'll be around, right? But that was way more fun.
John, before you start, do you, would it be okay if we just all stood up, maybe refill the coffee, get loaded? Maybe somebody needs just a bunch of fresh air or something.
It's warmer in here than I wanted.
So, oh, got that door open.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, then, that's how we make memories, if we set the fire alarm on, and.
Hey, Brandon, Carissa asked on Zoom, I just saw it, are we still doing floor time? Where you sign up for floor?
Yes, you guys will continue to operate your floor schedule, as it is in place until a future time.
I was spotting that mosquitoes when we went into your computer. Mosquitoes. I know. I felt like I had in my room last night.
10.
Yes. It's disgusting.
Indeed.
So I've been recording to the cloud. I hope that's where it's supposed to go. At first I did local and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to access it if I record local. So I've
Oh,
been
that's-
recording to the cloud.
That's great.
I don't know where that goes. I'm not very sure it's done.
I'm guessing you'll end up in my.
Yeah.
account.
You have a page, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, with an unpaged, you have to start locally.
Oh, okay.
Page, you can put it in the cloud, and then in Zoom, you just go back to the recording.
Okay.
Recording minutes.
So the first part, when my parents and movers were talking, that's on my computer. I don't know how to find it, but I'll find it.
It's in your video stuff, yeah. I'll help you find it.
I'm trying again.
Did you post the donut pictures? Never saw it.
You pulled Zach's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
We look barely in for his birthday, but. I mean, which one? I like my age. It sounds right with my ears work.
We're still enjoying donuts.
Yeah, we're still enjoying donuts.
On a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's actually a good practice.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's really going on.
Do you know how to write check?
No, no, oh, yeah, okay, good. Pretty good.
Zach is still on, Carissa is still on, Darren is on, and Zoom user is Mitch. Yep, I had to ask to make sure as I was letting in Zoom user. Like, who's Zoom user? Make sure I'm not letting in someone random.
Great.
Zach was on here, but I bet he lost signal.
Yeah, that's, and because, you know, going from the airport to the hotel or what have you, recording would be good for him.
Yep.
Like you said, you had photo of her driving in the car.
Driving through North Dakota?
I don't know where driving. Put her
I hope Dane was driving.
Yeah.
Cruise control.
Yep. Driving with me.
Although, I drive with my foot up on the dash on the road.
See, my legs are way too long. I can never get them up there.
Wait,
Years
you said
ago.
you drive
Yeah.
with what?
My foot, so like,
Yeah.
I'll put my foot like up on the dash,
Scrape it off like.
window open, so years ago, I was in the Marine Corps, and I bought a car in Minnesota and I was driving out to California.
Not a great situation.
And it was a Mazda RX-7 rotary engine with a clutch.
Mhm.
And I'm driving through the gorge in Utah, it's like 128 degrees. My foot, it's hot, no air conditioning, windows are open. My seat kicked back and I literally had my foot out the windows, my leg out the window. And I'm driving and it's 128 degrees and the motor seizes up. But when you're driving a clutch,
Yeah.
when the motor seizes up, I am sliding sideways at 75 miles an hour. And I have to hurry up and hit my foot on the clutch to release the, and as I'm sitting sideways and there's traffic everywhere, I finally got to reach over with my right foot, hit clutch, and the car just spun back forward, and I was able to pull over.
So notice how Dylan driving, you're like.
Your foot was still on the whole time. Imagine he's got his foot out.
One of those stories.
You're super wild.
Just don't get it.
Use your right foot and hit the clutch.
Right.
Don't get a manual transmission.
Okay.
I don't even think they really hardly even make manuals anymore.
It's hard to
Very
find.
hard to find them. I think, feel like
Tail.
you have to,
Overseas, oh yeah, overseas, they're still very, very popular,
yeah,
the most popular.
Anybody know why that dog's pink?
No, but we were commenting.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Because there was a color run this morning and it ran
There wasn't a color.
Sounded good. It sounded. Yeah, that makes sense.
Powder with wet ears and wet feet.
What time is it? So we can see if I'm assuming the night. Oh, the ninth is.
Yes.
It seems to be the hot area right here. Right over on.
It's not supposed to go out in northeast.
Yeah.
A lot of boats on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my version was a 3 on the tree. The 3 of the trees. So like manual, like 4, right?
4 same boat we have now.
77 on 4.
No, just think it's a-
Looks like we, you know, drives. But it's shifter on the phone. First gear, second gear, third. You know, it's Partner, yeah.
What color did you get? Space gray one? Did they have space gray?
No.
Oh, really?
Just
I thought they did like
think-
starlight,
Yeah.
like blue one that.
So it's really fingerprint heavy, that one.
Yeah.
Midnight.
Brenna had it.
Yes.
Blue one.
Mhm.
I like the color of it, but yeah, you touched it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got two in my garage right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick it up in the morning. Just text
Have it
this patch
as
guy, UPS.
Oh, yeah.
Just like hold it for me.
Yeah.
'Cause I got, it's showing at 7, closing at 9. I'll just come pick it up after that.
Yes.
They've had all of them back here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You put about this much pineapple juice in the cup, fill the rest with Kona Big Wave. You put about this much of pineapple juice, pure pineapple juice in a cup, and then fill the rest with Kona Big Wave beer. Really good.
Every restaurant has apple cider on tap. And it was amazing, yes.
I'm
I
sorry.
know, it's not easy.
But this is on. Oh, I'm not like cider, but
Well, I almost did, but.
I like hot.
Yeah. Go by the way.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And that's something in.
Even though.
Yeah. Dry.
Oh, I just seen both. First showing, you write the number, I had a showing last night, Realtors just morning. Put it together.
Maybe.
We were with them.
There's a lot of you going to this.
Just for
I was up this morning, had Robert looking out there.
And I was.
I think you guys.
We talked
Phone
about
review.
Back up.
Outside and. Still, I got.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Part of an HOA, but that's one of the. It's gonna be like.
And they're online, like, there's one thing.
Well, congratulations. That was great.
And I apologize.
I she was. She finished with all.
Yeah.
Yes, for.
Once it's built in there. We would have. But it was built, we used
Yeah.
We'll still probably have some nice amenities in there. But we're not gonna be like driving through there, it's all 3 bed, 2 bath. And we're just 4 bedrooms, like huge garage. It's not gonna be easy.
Correct.
Sorry, but that's right. But in now, you have white and black.
But,
I actually.
No, no, it's
What I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm now really a big fan of collab. Like that one on Island View. You're driving and kind of, and it's all like really dark charcoal. And the garage doors are that light. That's my. I get to pick all of that stuff. Want a master bedroom? I want none of that.
You want to?
Kayla, perfect. I would hold this whole master bedroom. For her to be happy. I've actually in my videos and I've said, yeah, gotta say that over again. You're not allowed to see master bedroom anyway. It's against the rules. There's primaries. Yeah.
So it's funny about it.
So it's so funny because I'm surprised that it still lets you do that. The first time I typed in master and I clicked on it, and it brought me a prompt that said, you don't use this anymore, like it's deemed, I don't know. So for mine, it only just showed me primary.
And.
It's a client that they were watching. And it has a. It's funny that you said that, listen, I. How it's gone.
It's supposed to follow Jack in the back anymore. I don't know what's your adjoined, what do you call it? Adjoined bath, adjoining bath. It's stupid. That one I'm not giving up. Jack and Jill, not giving it up.
Forming.
No, I'm not giving that one up.
Well, I always look at.
No. Oh, no.
What's that now? No. Oh, up there.
Otherwise, what's the first one?
I wonder. You gotta get your cat cleaned up.
Support them.
Yeah, paint your dog.
Can you grab your food and chairs and everything? Miss Donna is in charge.
Oh, yeah, they probably didn't put the joint them. Yeah.
You're happy with it all. Nick, get in there, don't go. I'm good.
All right.
We have another one.
Thank you for letting us take a little.
Yeah, thank you.
And we chat a lot.
No, it's wonderful. In this role, I visit companies that are either moving to Coldwell Banker or merging with Coldwell Banker and I've seen it handled so many different ways, and I told Brandon, I love that he's gone through and answered all of your questions. And I know, knowing Brandon, he will continue to do that. I love that he is open and transparent. So that leads me to, in this role, I get the honor of welcoming new companies to Coldwell Banker. And just super excited to say welcome to Coldwell Banker Crown Realty. Knowing Brandon and the Montgomerys and the Hoovers, it's a great fit. Coldwell Banker was founded on honesty and integrity, and you all are going to be a great fit. It's a great culture fit, and we're just super excited to have you with us. So welcome. There's a couple of people that will be supporting you. Myself, Jared Estelle is our franchise sales director, who has been working with Brandon for quite a while to bring this together, and unfortunately couldn't be here today. He had a personal commitment. Your brand account manager. Every Coldwell Banker franchise has a brand account manager assigned to them, and that's the person that's sort of the go-to person when Brandon has a question, when we need help with training. Andrea Van Ampting is your account manager, and she will be getting with you all in the next couple of weeks to help with training, some live, some virtual. She'll be a key person for you all to know. And then we also have our National Vice President of Affiliate Servicing, Kate Conquest, who has prepared a welcome message for you.
Hello, Counselor Realty, and welcome to Coldwell Banker. My name is Kate Conquest. I'm the National Vice President of our Field Servicing team, and it is a privilege and honor to welcome you into our Coldwell Banker family. I know exactly what it feels feels like to join the network, because I too was part of an independent, unaffiliated company, and the broker owner decided to join Coldwell Banker. I later grew within the company and became part of the ownership schedule, so I know from personal experience what it feels like to be part of this great franchise system. Welcome to a network of over 100,000 agents. Even more importantly, welcome to a new chapter of leadership with your existing owner, now combined with one of our top entrepreneurs in the sector, Brandon Johnson. I've worked with Brandon for many years. He is so invested in the industry, in his agents' careers, in making sure that you meet all the goals that you set out for, and he's just top notch. So congratulations, welcome. I'll leave you with one piece of advice. Joining Coldwell Banker is amazing. It's also a lot. We have a lot of tools and services. We have so many things designed to help you either grow or streamline your business. And sometimes it could be a lot. You'll hear a lot from Donna today, and just sit back and think about what you're most interested in, and then pick one thing at a time. Our field servicing team will be there for you all the way to help implement all of our products, tools, and resources. So just know you won't be alone. Your local account manager is Andrea Van Anting. She is very excited to get there and meet you all and help you on this journey with your Coldwell Banker partnership. So again, thank you, welcome, and I'm so excited to welcome you into Coldwell Banker. Have a great day.
Kate's awesome. You have the opportunity to meet Kate as well. So just kind of what we're going to talk about today, and Brandon, you've covered some of this, so we'll buzz through, won't be too repetitive. But who is Coldwell Banker? What makes us different? What are some of the products and resources that will be available to you to help you with growth and to be productive? And then some next steps integrated into Coldwell Banker. So starting at the beginning, this was also in your FAQs. Coldwell Banker was started in 1906 in San Francisco. We are the only company that can say we've been around for 117 years. So somewhere along the way, somebody's been doing something right. 117 years later, we have grown to 40 countries, over 100,000 sales professionals, and it was truly a premium global brand. But the nice thing about Coldwell Banker, and Brandon touched on this a little bit, even though we're big and we're old and we're national, we let our affiliates run their business locally. We're not what's called a format franchise, where you go to McDonald's and you're going to get the same hamburger no matter where you are on the globe. With Coldwell Banker and with affiliations, one thing that we're really picky about is how you use our logo. And we'll be providing you with a logo suite that you can use in any and all applications, but that's the one thing that we're picky about. And that's because we want that logo to be the same wherever you go, so that the consumer recognizes it, just like you recognize that McDonald's logo wherever you go. So one thing I want to point out is the C and the B that's white, it's never blue. I just remember that the C and the B is always white, but that's the one thing that we're really picky about. But other than that, it's real estate is local. You're running your local business. You're part of Coldwell Banker Crown. So again, we've been around for 117 years. We're built on honesty and integrity and commitment to our consumers. We're the North Star of real estate. We have that in our logo, the North Star. We're guiding agents to a successful career. We're guiding consumers to the home of their dreams. And we have some great bragging points that we come out with every year. We call these our quotables. And, there's the big stuff, the $295 billion in sales volume and the 608,000 transactions. But the ones that really matter to you are the fact that we are the #1 most effective real estate advertising. And we'll take a look at our advertising here in just a minute. The #1 most visited brand online compared to other real estate companies. So those are the brand differentiators that really matter to you, locally, that are going to drive your business. So let's start with our brand marketing. We've had the highest rated real estate ad for 11 years running. And this year, our ad is reflective of the market. Listing inventory is tight everywhere. So how do we get people to list their homes? The idea is that you get them to dream about where they would like to move, where they want their next home to be. And we have developed a professional ad created that you all can use in your local marketing. We'll take a quick look at that.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be? What would it be like? Open up a world of possibilities when you sell your home and make those dreams real. At coldwellbanker.com, you can get an instant estimate on your home, compare cost of living city by city, and learn more about our revolutionary seller's insurance program. So it really is true. Your dreams don't have to be just dreams.
So this ad is available to be customized. You saw the end card with the logo and the URL. You can also add, can be personally customized with your name, your phone number, your individual URL. The ad runs on Thursday Night Football. It also runs on Hulu and YouTube. We have the ad running across Google, Bing, Facebook, Instagram. The idea is that it's going to drive people to the Coldwell Banker website, which also will ultimately drive them to search for local real estate and to you as the agent. But not only do we just do the video, the ad, we provide with you lots of assets that you can use. These are some of the images that you'll have access to use in your own personal marketing. Here's a couple more of the cool images, and they're not playing. So we have to talk about the move meter and the home estimator. So those are cool little widgets that you can put in your social media. You'll have the opportunity to build your own personal website. You can add those to your personal websites. There's Facebook covers, Instagram stories, all kinds of cool stuff that we provide to you. And we also provide an annual marketing plan. And the annual marketing plan, it goes month by month that tells you this is recommendations of how you can advertise yourself this month. This is the tool you need to use. This is the template you need to use. Part of our blogs, I think that's in the FAQs as well. We have a very robust blog page, a very robust global luxury blog page. There's lots of evergreen content there that you can use. You can share out to your social media, share to your sphere of influence. So again, just lots of tools. The gifts, they're always fun. Provide those for you. I want to talk a little bit about our global luxury program. Coldwell Banker has the premier luxury property marketing program. And we get it. Not every market is a luxury market, but there is some luxury in every market. And this is something that you all can utilize to market luxury homes. Part of the luxury program is our certification course. And it's our next certification course is coming up June 27th and 28th. It is a virtual course. It's a 2-day course. So if you're interested in, getting a little more education about luxury, breaking into that market, raising your average sales price, take a look at our luxury certification course. There is also a global website. That global website is high-end photography. It's beautiful. It's fun to just go there and look around and play around and imagine you can move to France or wherever. So take a look at the global luxury website. Consider the course. We have Homes and Estates magazine that those higher end properties are advertised in. And when your home is marked as a global luxury within our system, the syndication goes out to Wall Street Journal, Robb Report, and over 60 countries. So that's a great tool. Couple of perks. Everybody loves perks at work, right? So a couple of additional perks that you'll have as part of Coldwell Banker. One is our referral rewards program. And we started this program this year, and you can refer an agent to another Coldwell Banker anywhere in the country. And then you will receive 1% of that agent's adjusted gross commission for as long as you and that agent are both still affiliated with Coldwell Banker. So it is an opportunity for you to earn additional income based on referring agents to Coldwell Banker. So if you have a friend on the other side of the country that's thinking about getting into real estate, make sure that you refer them to a Coldwell Banker office. There is a process, some paperwork, some steps to take to make sure that happens, but this is a great opportunity for you to, generate some passive revenue. You like that?
Yes.
That is just like if you're gonna refer agents, not refer your clients to agents. You do
Refer
not.
agents,
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
I just had to, I know that was the answer, but that's what I was thinking at first, like, wow, that's amazing and expensive, but.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I
yeah,
add one thing.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic, revenue source for you guys and a value proposition. This is not a multi-level marketing scheme. This is not a KW model. This is not an EXP share. This is none of that trash. This is legitimately, it's an easy one time, you have a connection and it's just there. That's it. All they have to do is they sign you up, you work with me, we get the paperwork in, and the great thing is it can be anywhere.
Can it be here?
It can be here.
Over here.
So if you got a co-op deal and you're like, holy smacks, this agent is amazing. Brandon, call this person, they might be interested. And I go, sounds great. And then I drive up and I have coffee with them and they come join. And all of a sudden they're like, yeah, no doubt, right? Let's come on over. And all of a sudden they say, yeah, Jolene was the one who told me to come talk to you. Well, great. Would you agree that she's your sponsoring agent? Yeah, sign here. Done.
What about out of state referrals? So I'm gonna refer a buyer.
Yep.
To an agent in Florida.
Yep, so two different things. This referral rewards is just for agents,
Yeah.
agent to agent, that's it. But if you're sending a buyer or a seller out, then the referral could be the same 25, 40%, whatever your fee is to send a referral out or inbound.
Does that 1% come from that agent, or does it come from
Comes from
the local
Banker.
brokerage or from Coldwell Banker corporate?
Corporate.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, so you're not taking it away from them, right?
Correct. And they don't lose.
That was a great question.
Nope.
Very good question.
Did we just refer 21 other agents?
I know, right?
If you wanna go back, if
We've done this.
you wanna renegotiate our deal, we can have a conversation. Anyway, so I just wanted to add that, it's not a multi-level, it's not a pyramid scheme, it's an
I
actual,
appreciate that, yes.
it's a good program. It's clean.
So yeah,
Love that.
whoever you're thinking about would be a great fit, or somebody like I said, across the country, he's a nephew or friend that's thinking about getting into real estate, or is already in real estate, and they're unhappy where they are. And it can be to a Coldwell Banker Realty office as well, as opposed to an affiliate, either or. Great program. Couple little extra perks as well. We have a business advantage program due to our size. We have negotiated pricing that can benefit you, if you want to do your wireless plan. AT&T, anybody have AT&T here? There's a couple of wireless plans that you can sign up for, a discount for printing, for UPS, for overnight shipping, pods, so all kinds of cool discounts that we make available to you that you'll be able to take advantage of. And then we also has anybody heard of Spark or is familiar with Spark? It's a realtor network that pulls together insurance benefits, dental, 401k, all kinds of cool things that independent contractors can't typically, that you struggle to find. There is a membership fee, it's $72 a year, but then you have an opportunity to, go through Spark to compare health plans, to compare some 401k and retirement plans. And one of the additional benefits of Spark is that you automatically receive a membership in the Forewarn app. Anybody familiar with the Forewarn app or seen that one? It is an app that you can plug in. Somebody calls you and says, I want to see this house at 8 o'clock at night after dark on this dead end street. You can plug in who they are, do a little background check on them. So it's an agent safety app.
What was it called again?
Forewarn.
Okay.
If you want to see it, just remind me in our one-on-ones and I'll show it. I have it on my phone. It's worth the $72 hands down.
Yeah, and the $72 is membership in the Spark for all the other benefits. And you also receive Forewarn for free, which is normally like $200 and some a year to have the Forewarn app. So a little bit about our technology, and there's a lot. There's a lot of different technology, and the key here is to listen for what you need in your business, what you want to dive into. If anybody tried to learn everything, it would be a lot. So just kind of listen for what's going to be helpful to you to grow your business. But all of our technology is accessed from desk. So you'll hear that word a lot, Coldwell Banker Desk. Desk is like your portal, your hub for everything Coldwell Banker. And tomorrow, I think we have them scheduled for tomorrow. You all will get 2 emails, and one will be your login ID and one will be your password to Coldwell Banker Desk. Your login ID is formatted as first name dot last name at coldwellbanker.com. It is not an email address. It is a login ID. It just happens to be formatted as if it were an email. And then the second email is going to have your temporary password. You have 24 hours to go into Desk and set your permanent password. If you miss that, don't worry. Just let Brandon, let the office admin know. We can resend that login password for you. So watch for those. The Desk is your portal to everything. The different tools we're going to talk about, all of the Coldwell Banker news, all of the Coldwell Banker learning. So you'll get to know Desk really well. One of our great tools is Marketing Center. This is where you will go to create digital content. Some of the social assets I was showing you earlier that are part of the Dream campaign, this is where you will access those. This is where you can build flyers. The nice thing about Marketing Center too is your profile is already loaded. So all of your information, your photo, your logos, everything is already there. So it's really easy to click a few steps to create those marketing pieces. These are just a couple of examples of them. Happy Halloween, Happy Veterans Day. You have the holiday campaigns. You have different Facebook cover pages, videos, virtual meeting backgrounds, all kinds of cool stuff in Marketing Center. Another tool that we have, and like I said, just kind of think about which tool do you want to dive into first. And Brandon even asked me, he says, are you going to talk about MarketQuest today? I'm not even talking about MarketQuest today. It's another one. But another great tool that we have is called Boost. The idea with Boost is that you can use Boost to create ads for social media, to advertise yourself or to advertise a listing. You don't have to be an expert in Facebook advertising or Instagram advertising or anything like that. It gets really complicated. It's a platform where you go and you say, I want to promote this listing for this long on this platform, and I want to spend this much money. Click, 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 done. So that is a great conversation at the listing table to say to that seller, we have a platform where I can quickly and easily push out your listing and advertise it on Facebook, such Instagram, Nextdoor. If anybody use the Nextdoor app, it also promotes on the Nextdoor app. So, and the leads that come from that go into our CRM that we'll talk about in a minute, that go into Leads Engine. So Boost is a great tool that that's something you're interested in, dive into that one.
So can I ask a question on that? You just said that the leads from there will go into that agent's CRM? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That spent the money for the marketing ad.
Absolutely. Yes.
So anything generated off of that is gonna go to that agent.
Yes.
Okay.
DTA, direct to agent lead.
Okay.
Absolutely. We also provide for our agents, our companies, the Moxie Work Suite. Anybody heard of this tool before or used it? Brandon's like, yeah. So Moxie, there's a couple of different aspects to Moxie. There's Moxie Present, where you are able to build your CMA and your listing presentations. You can build buyer presentations. Moxie Engage is your CRM. So if you're looking for a CRM, you're ready to start a new CRM, this will be a great opportunity for you. Moxie Impress to build some digital marketing there. It's a different tool for digital marketing, a different tool for advertising. And then Moxie websites. You'll have the ability to build individual agent websites. So that's a great perk as well. And again, this is something that we provide to you. And these are all connected with your MLS so that listings are feeding through. Leads are going to feed through. It's also connected with Boost, so the leads feed into the CRM. So lots of different tools for you. Next, Coldwell Banker Learning. In Desk, there's a tile for CBU, the Learning Center. I believe in the packets, there's also a guide, a CVU course catalog in your packets as well. So within CVU Learning Center, there's all kinds of different learning, depending on what you want to learn about. We also have agent pathways that are already built out within Coldwell Banker University. So if you're new to real estate, there's a recommended list of courses. If you're ready to just kind of take your business to the next level, building a team, going into the luxury space. So Coldwell Banker University and the agent pathways will be a great place for you to go. There's also a mobile version. So you're sitting at the doctor's office, you're sitting at an house, you're sitting at an inspection, whatever the case may be, you can do learning on the fly as well. We have a connection with Express Docs. Express Docs is your source for your print marketing for yourself and for your listings, for your sold cards, business cards, all kinds of cool things in Express Docs. That was a lot, right?
Does this Express Docs and the Marketing Center, do
They are
talk to each
connected.
other?
Yes.
Great, okay.
Yes, so you create something in Marketing Center, you can use it digitally, or if you want to send it over to Express Docs to have it print and mailed to you, yes, they are connected.
Are those two services, is that like opt-in, opt-out, like you have to pay for them, or do they come with?
You would have to pay for the print materials.
Okay,
Yes,
yep.
but not
makes sense.
the creation of the pieces, and then, you know, the
Can
connection
you
to
also
Express Docs.
create pieces in there and have them printed locally if you
Yes.
wanted to as well?
Yes, cool thing about Marketing Center is there's a lot of templates. A lot of the templates are very customizable, but then you can create your own templates as well. So let's say if you have, you know, you want to use a photo of the lake, you can create some marketing pieces that have photos of anything that you wanted to include. So it's very customizable. So you guys are a great culture fit. As you're part of Coldwell Banker, you'll start to learn, you know, the bigger culture of Coldwell Banker. And the best place to do that is at our annual, what we call Gen Blue, our annual convention. This year, we're having it in Atlanta, October 16th and 19th. We've moved around the country. We've had it in Miami, Chicago, New York. We were in Phoenix last year. We have some great speakers, some great learning, some great parties. We're going to have it at the historic, what is the name of the theater? Fox Theater in Atlanta, and the closing night ceremonies are always fabulous. We're taking over the Georgia Aquarium. There'll be lots of food and fun and festivities at the Georgia Aquarium on our closing night ceremony. We've had bands before. It's just a really cool experience. So not only is it fun, but there's a lot of great learning opportunities there as well. A little bit more about our culture. We started the What Moves Her program a couple of years ago to support women in real estate, just to help women develop their leadership skills. If you go to coldwellbankerwomen.com, you can see some of the previous sessions. We've got some great speakers, and this is something that you'll hear throughout. We'll have these additional speaker sections. We've even seen some of our affiliates open their own local chapters of What Moves Her. And that's a great way to just kind of, you know, take what's been done at that bigger corporate level, pull it down to a smaller level, have events. It's a great recruiting opportunity to bring people in and get that referral reward. So that's something to think about as well. And we're very proud to be a sponsor of St. Jude. So the Coldwell Banker St. Jude's program allows you to opt in to give X amount for every closing that you have. We offer there's marketing materials that you can use if you've opted in, sign writers that you can use. So, you know, you're supporting a great cause. And, you know, personally, I was pricing out windows for my house recently, which I don't know if you've priced windows lately, but good grief. But I got 3 estimates and they were all very similar. And the one that I chose was because it listed at the bottom, you know, they're a member of St. Jude. So it does drive business as well as supporting a great cause. We raised $1.3 million since we started this program. Brandon mentioned awards. You all will be eligible for your 2023 awards. Those come out early 24. He'll be submitting all of your production from January 1 up until today, so that will count towards your awards. We provide, again, social media advertising, certificates, email signatures, logos that you can put on your business cards and your marketing that show that you've achieved that certain level of production and received that award. So how do you start learning about Coldwell Banker? You watch for those 2 emails. You'll also start to receive every Wednesday at noon, you'll receive what's called CB Briefs, which is a newsletter that we put out. It's anything, the latest learning, any announcements. Also within Desk, you can find the archive of all the previous CB Briefs. You want to go back and read a couple of the previous ones to kind of find out what's going on with Coldwell Banker. And then I saw that Brandon had them all in the FAQ as well. Start to follow Coldwell Banker across social media. We have our residential channels, our luxury channels, commercial channels. And then the last one I want to really point out to you, that's our internal private Facebook page. I encourage you to seek out and join the Global Network page. That is just Coldwell Banker agents. And it's, you'll see people post a question, and it's kind of cool to post a question, maybe something that you're struggling with, and get answers from people all over the country of how they've handled something. You can go there and get some great ideas. I've seen almost every day I see a referral. I'm looking for a great agent in X, and people can respond and take advantage of those referral opportunities.
Will this get emailed to us with all these links? Or is it something we should search ourselves? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll send you the welcome packet we have. You has a lot of these in there, and we'll email you guys a digital link that's clickable and stuff on all that.
Sweet.
Yep.
Okay.
So make sure you get them all.
Thank you.
So that's, watch for those 2 emails to get access to Desk, join the Global Network, and start to follow on social media. And that's it. I know it was a lot, but I didn't even talk about MarketQuest.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a quick question on, is there lead generation at all through Coldwell Banker on their, do we have a, because right now we have our own site that we get lead generation through. Is there anything through, will it be through you, or is there anything at all with that?
Yes, and yes.
Yes. One of the really cool things that we do is DARE, dynamic ads for real estate. So if someone is searching online and they land on your listing, and maybe you've seen this before, you're shopping for something, and then the next day, that whatever sunglasses keep popping up in your feed. We do that on the back end with any listings, any of our listings on coldwellbanker.com. So if someone lands on that, they're going to see your listing if they landed on it, or similar listings pop up in their feed, and then drive them back to, click on that and drive those leads. So that's just one example. You don't have, that doesn't cost you anything. There's nothing you have to do to make that happen. It's just having a listing on coldwellbanker.com, which all of your listings will be.
And then we augment that as our own company. We augment that with different tools. AdWorks is one that we utilize heavily for their advertising things. We utilize Boost quite a bit, as well as options for agents too. So we try to drive a lot for agents who, this is next level conversation that you asked, okay? Yeah. For our agents who utilize our company lead generation programs, they usually see about a 30% of their book of business come from our company lead generation programs, including the Coldwell Banker stuff, and then the internal stuff that we use. That's like 2 weeks away, kind of stuff. So I'm not trying to inundate you what you asked.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
The answer is yes and yes.
As far as the luxury training that you touched on in the beginning, will that be emailed to us as well, or that's probably maybe a 2-week deal as well?
Luxury. So yeah. And these are all things. So Don and I will be at the office, right? So you can always come piggyback, because I want to honor our time commitment with you, because I know where you're at. But yeah, the luxury training coming up, if you have interest in it, you can certainly ask. We can schedule, I think we have it in a week or 2, maybe 3, might be 3 because of the time of year, a luxury program overview. But if you are working on listings over $500,000, come talk to me, right? Like today, or let me know, and we can start to talk about what does that look like. And then my first question is going to go, well, is it really a luxury property, or is it just over 500,000? Because those are different, right? So we'll have that conversation. We can start onboarding some of the global luxury stuff right now if we need to. But yes, we'll do an overview webinar, I think in 2 or 3 weeks.
Thank you.
But yeah,
It's 40 acres of land with a house.
No.
Outbuilding, that's over 500. Is that considered luxury?
no,
If
it could be,
if it was $1 million property and
depending upon
Horses
question.
on it.
It could be. Equestrian, yeah. We have a lot of luxury equestrian
Chicken
properties.
coop and the.
All right, so any follow-up questions? I got 2 minutes of your time that I've asked for, so I appreciate that. One of the things I'm gonna ask before you leave is I'm gonna put these 2 sign-up sheets, they're 30-minute increments. Again, I would love to meet with you on a time that is meaningful to you. Just to say hi and get to know you on a more personal level and answer questions that maybe come up, or maybe you don't want to ask in a public setting, because I know not everybody is as, bold as I am to talk in a public setting, so I respect that. Is there anything else that you guys have? I know there's a lot to kind of throw at you at this point in time.
I have one more question. Phone system at the office, even though it's high tech.
Yeah.
My understanding, this is gonna change.
Yes,
Immediately or
define immediately.
like in the next month?
The next month.
Yes.
Okay, in the next 10 days.
So can you just,
Probably not 10.
can you just do a 1-minute highlight on that?
1 minute highlight, the phone system you have is antiquated. And does not service staff well to communicate as a central services setup. So we will be, if you have a phone in your office, it will go away. You will not have a phone in your office, because if you're using the company phone, I'm guessing we have to have a different conversation about marketing. But what we'll do is the way to transfer stuff, it all just goes through a digital phone system. And so that way staff, whoever's at the front, will just be able to transfer a call directly to your cell phone. So
Sorry.
whether you're in the office or not, if somebody says, hey, I want, Jolene, awesome, let me get you to her. And so that's the way we'll do it. So you'll be watching some of that stuff going away or upgrading.
Super excited about that too. We've been looking at that for, I don't even know how many years.
Real
Yeah.
quick, when would you like these, like, important documents, like the W-9 and
I
whatnot?
need your W-9 right now.
Got it. Okay.
Before you leave the room. I need you to sign up for a spot before you leave. And then everything else, if you can get it to me, I would say by the end of next week, you can turn it into Steph, you can scan it to me, it doesn't matter. If you have a closing and stuff coming up, I will need your direct deposit slip as well, otherwise I don't know that we'll be able to pay you in a timely manner, so you might want to have that.
Oh, one more thing, you want to touch on the folder, our current folder and what we plan to do.
Yeah, you guys are really into your folders. We are gonna have them remade. We already had our team reach out to corporate communications, and I don't know where it's at, if I'm honest right now, but we started that yesterday to have them rebranded with the same vendors.
The important thing was, because these vendors spend a lot of money to put them in there, and we burned through the first batch really quick. And then they were reached out again, and these vendors spent money to get more folders, and we have a ton of them. So those of you that had conversations, because I know a lot of times it's like, oh, maybe Jason talked to an insurance company and said, yep, boy, we hand them out to our buyers, we hand them out to our sellers, we get handed out at closings. It's important. So if somebody hears, oh, great, I spent $2,500 and my ad's going away, their ad won't go away, it's gonna be in the new folder.
So we'll rebrand it. I'll have you drop your W-9 in here too, when you make your way up here. And like I said, Donna and I will be at the office if you have questions, because I'm a minute over. And one thing you'll learn is I try to honor your time as best I can. So we will be at the office if you need us. Otherwise, thank you guys very much. And I'm really excited to partner with you on your growth journey with us. So thanks for coming and hanging out with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
You all can be here today with very little notice. Thank you for coming off the lake.
Yeah.
I hope that they didn't get the limit.
Are you going back fishing?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I think.
Do I do the individual one?
Yeah.
And then.
You
don't need the back stuff, right?
No, just the very first, which is all we need. Yeah. That is your. It's totally fine. Yeah. Whatever you guys want to do, I'm happy.
Yeah, state board meeting,
He had a state board meeting, which he would normally be
which
there.
Brandon's supposed to be there, but he had a different meeting he had to work on, so.
Not all of them.
Okay,
there you
yeah,
go.
that's awesome. Best of luck to you. See you soon.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's your.
Yeah. It's moving. I thought it was good. You want to do it together or do you just want? Can I use your?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you here at the negotiation? One, you don't.
Annual meeting?
I just listened to people together at one time.
No, we have, we're playing bags and.
Yeah, really.
Right over here.
I don't think so.
I'm around.
How would you?
You would be shocked at things. I have 4 kids. You'd be shocked at things I go from them. So,
Did I miss anything on there?
I'm trying to figure out my own and I can't.
and then for those of you who run a team, in our individual meetings, we'll talk about payment structures and how you want that paid, and we'll get all that squared away. I just need your socials today to start transferring licenses, so. Just think, like, I know somebody was gonna ask that question. Yeah.
See you guys. Steven.
Lots of